Peter Warrick, thank you for joining us today on the Art of Money Radio.
Yes, sir.
All right, so you have a son.
Yes.
I have two kids, and I appreciate you being here because
Yes,
you
sir.
had a little bit of an episode with your son, but
Yeah.
you also have a foundation you're going to be
Yeah.
at tomorrow.
Mhm.
So let's talk a little bit about the foundation and what you're doing for your son and for the benefit. Let's talk a little bit about the foundation you're going to be a part of tomorrow.
Oh, well, my son has, it's hard for me to talk about it because I don't ever really talk about it. Like, I have friends that I'm close to that I really don't tell them everything that I'm going through because,
Sure.
like, as a man, you don't really want to go through it, so you don't really want people in your business. But I know that, I have people that care about me. But my son has mild cerebral palsy. He has bilateral hearing loss. We just got him the cochlear implants, and this weekend was a little scary. Well, not this weekend, this week. He had a fever of 104.
Yeah.
So I woke up in the middle of the night, and I was holding him. He was shaking, so it was scaring me. So I was like, hey, look, we need to take him to the emergency room. So when we took him, they ran all the tests. He didn't have COVID, none of that. He just had an upper respiratory infection. And so the fever was running high, running low, and he's doing better now. I just called and seen him sitting up, clapping, watching Paw Patrol, and that was a blessing. But with the foundation, we have tomorrow, I have a kickball tournament. So I got a couple of my friends, a couple of NFL guys coming by, like Deion Grant, like Champ Bailey. So I got those guys, Takeo Spikes, and I got those guys coming by and just showing love for the foundation to support other kids that have the
Sure.
same thing that my son has. So it's a
Sure.
blessing for me.
Sure.
Yeah.
So what was it like playing at FSU and then transitioning to the NFL?
It's kind of tough because all my life I've been a winner, from
Right.
youth league football to high school to going to Florida State, maybe losing 2 or 3 games, winning championship. Now when I leave there, go to Cincinnati where I'm 2-4, 4-12. 2-14 and
Right.
4-12. It was tough because when I first got there, we was losing games like back to back, and I come in the locker room, I'm crying, and other guys like, man, what are we doing tonight? I'm like, man, that's the mentality that we have here. And then what's funny is by the time the season was over and the game was over, I'd be like, hey, what we doing tonight?
Because you realize the wins and losses, there's
Yeah.
nothing you could really do
Yeah.
personally to affect
yeah.
that. Right.
Yeah, it's
So-
tough, man. It was tough doing that, but I enjoyed it. I thank God for the time that I had there. I enjoyed it. I wish it could have been better, but at least I got an opportunity to make it.
Right. Absolutely. So we talk a lot about finances. We talk a lot about financial planning. Where do you think we could help some younger guys that are transitioning from college football to the NFL? Where do you think there's a purpose or there's a fill gap that we could do from a financial planning standpoint?
I could say, like, with myself, it's kind of tough because with financial stuff that I've been through, like, people don't really know. Like, I had a guy steal, I never talked about it until right now. I had a guy steal $7.6 million from me. And I try to get it back, and they're acting like, well, it's a statute of limitation with this and that. I'm like, how can you have somebody steal some money from you and y'all know that he did it? He let y'all know that he did it, but we can't get it back. Well, he don't have it. But for me, it's like, it's kind of tough. So I talked to my son about it, and with financial stuff, I just really don't know. I really don't have an answer to that because, I took a loss, and it was a tough loss for me. Just don't want nobody else to go through that. So we was talking, as my friends that play in the NFL, we was all talking about sitting down, talking about it, trying to get guys to understand that the right thing to do when you get money. I was 20, 21 with
Right.
millions of dollars.
Right.
And, my whole thing was just to play football, not
Sure.
to watch my money. And next thing I know, I'm missing this, I'm missing that. And by the time I found out, it was too late.
So there's just those guys that are out there ready to take those advance checks, those big bonus checks, quote, invest them for you,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden the money's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not,
It's not a good deal.
No, it's not a good
I'm
deal.
Still going through it right now. It's kind of tough because you play sports and you have a family that you have to take care of and try to provide for. Not only your kids, your parents, and people look up to you and want you to do certain things, and then when stuff taken away from you, it's kind of tough.
Well, let me ask you something, since we're both Knoll boys.
That part.
Where do you think we stand this year with Coach Norvell? You know, we had a little bit of bumps and bruises. You know, I like Jimbo. You know, Jimbo was a great coach, but
Jimbo was a great coach.
He
I like
walked
Jimbo.
away. You know, he had a lot of personal problems going on at the time, but 75 million reasons he left, you know, so we understand that.
Yes.
Yeah, we
I
understand
definitely
that.
understand that part.
Right. So we got Coach Norvell there. He's been trying to do a lot of transfer guys. Where do you think we stand now on the rebuilding process?
I think we're going to be pretty good. You know, I see guys that want to go to Florida State now. You know, at first it's like you have guys that want to go to like USF and UCF but I mean, when we was coming up, everybody wanted to go to either want to go to Florida Gators, Fred T, Miami, going south, or Florida State. But now it's like it's different. But now it's like I guess Norvell is getting it back to where guys actually want to go to Florida State, and that's a great thing.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen a change. I've seen the change with recruiting already.
Yeah.
He's doing something right. And we got Mackenzie Milton as a transfer for UCF. And
he got Mackenzie because Mackenzie was beating him.
But, I mean, he got him to come.
Yeah.
And Mackenzie said he wants to be a coach one day. And he said he would love to be a coach on the team for FSU.
He said that? I didn't know that.
He said Norvell and the guys got it going on. So I was like, that's a pretty big, because he was under Scott Frost, so, you know, he knows good coaching. So I thought that was a pretty big compliment from Milton for sure. What do you think about the NIL with the kids being able to have their image and likeness and all that now?
I wish. Only thing I can say about it is I'm happy for him. I wish that could have been me back in the day.
I bet. I bet.
Yeah, I do.
I bet, because you were big time
thing.
back then. Yeah, in the 90s, you would have been loving it, huh?
I would have loved it. I would have. Yes, sir.
Well, Peter, thank you. It's been a pleasure having you here on the Art of Money Radio. Thank you. Appreciate you coming.
Man, I appreciate it. Anytime.